boys and girls. I'm so happy to be able to have this opportunity to do reading time with you today. So I want to remind you that not every day will we be going over our strategies and the walls that we usually go over. So remember, in the previous videos, I have a reading strategy video. And in that video, we go over what your toolbox is and how you should be using your toolbox. So remember to revisit this video often because I won't be doing that at the beginning of each lesson, okay? And also remember that each reading lesson is in 2 videos. So the first video is the one that we practice our strategies on, and the second video is the one where you actually get to read the story and practice using your strategies by yourself. So remember to not forget to do the second video, okay? That's very important. That's the opportunity that you get to practice all by yourself. And you should be doing it more than one time because remember, the more times that you read the story, the more you learn. So the video 2 is the part you get to practice all by yourself. So I hope that you're doing that part. All right, and then we're going to read this story today. Oh, let me remind you, we're at my house. And so there could be some interruptions. And if there is, we're just going to keep on learning or keep on reading. So be prepared for the phone to ring, a door to shut, the doorbell to ring, or maybe some of you might even spot my dog walking by like in the last video. And if that happens, we'll just keep right on going. Okay, boys and girls, just like we do at school. All right, so our story today that we're going to read, and I'm trying to be a little bit quiet because my daughter's on the phone right now. Hopefully we're not bothering her. So the story that we're going to read today is called Baby Bear Goes Fishing. So the first thing I want to do with you is go over all the words in the story that you might need to use your I Spy Eyes on, okay? So I have a list of all the words that you'll find, and I'm going to write them on the board just like I always do, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to use your I Spy Eyes, and then I'll tell you what Legos you should have seen inside the word. Okay, so here's the first word. So while you're looking at this word, and don't forget I have a squeaky chair, sorry about that. While you're looking at this word, what Lego do you see first? So I hope you see ing, and I hope you see sh, and then you're all done with your I Spy Eyes. All we have to do is sing now. So you have a f, you have an I, you have a sh, and you have an ing. So we sing it, and then what's the word? Here we go. Ish, ing. What's the word, boys and girls? Fishing, okay? So you're gonna see that word a lot in this story because the story is called Baby Bear Goes Fishing, okay? You might see fishing, or if you take this Lego off, you might just see fish. Okay, boys and girls? And I found a bigger eraser today, so hopefully that'll go a little bit faster. All right, then you'll see a word like this. And first graders, I don't remember if we've talked much about the apostrophe that you might see inside a word. So when you see that inside a word, that means that this word came from 2 little words. So this one came from I, and it came from am. And this is just a shorter way of saying I am. You could say, I am going to the grocery store today, or you could just say, I'm going to the grocery store today. But it's very important, first graders, because I see a lot of you doing this when you start learning how to read this word. When you see this word, you only get to say what you see. So if you see the I, then you get to say I. If you see the you get to say There's no a in here. So when you see this, it's very important when you're reading, you do not say I am, because this does not say I am. This says I'm. It means I am, but you can't say I am if you see this word. And some of you like to do that sometimes. So be very careful when you're reading this story today that you're only saying I am, because that's all you get to say is what you see. All right? So I'm means I am. And then you're going to have this word in your story, and I hope you see a sight word inside this word. So you should see go, and you should see ing. And if you snap them together, what do we have? Go ing. Only 2 Legos, right, boys and girls? And we've had this word many, many, many times. Let's see. Tell me what Legos you see inside this word. Hopefully you see TH, and TH says and hopefully you see ER. And what does ER say at the end of the word? If you're not remembering what these Legos are, boys and girls, make sure you go back to that first reading strategy video, because that's when I spend a lot of time talking about them, okay? So this Lego says and this Lego says and then if we were to sound out this word, we would say father, father. But that doesn't make sense to say father, does it, boys and girls? So we might need to think about the meaning of the story. And I already told you that this is about Baby Bear. So in this story, Baby Bear will probably have his father bear there. So the A doesn't say aw very often, boys and girls, but in this word, the A says aw. So remember, this word is father. It would have made a lot more sense if they put an O there, wouldn't it, boys and girls? But that's why we have to have good I Spy eyes. And then you might see this word inside the story. And this one does have an ah, doesn't it? It also has a TH. So if you know the TH in this word, you know the TH in this word. And it also has an ER. So if you know the ER in this word, you know the ER in this word. So this one, we do just have to sound out. This one says, other. So Baby Bear has a father bear inside the story and a mother bear inside the story. And I'm going to skip the next word because I kind of just told you the answer. So we're going to do a couple other ones and then we'll get back to that, okay? So sometimes this word is tricky for first graders, and it shouldn't be, because if you look closely at this word, who do you see? You should see Big Mouth. And Big Mouth says doesn't it? So all we have to do is sing this word. Open big for help. Help. Say fast. Help. So in this story, someone is going to need some help, aren't they? Or maybe someone just wants to help. And what do you see inside this word? You should see OW. Remember, it's in our toolbox. OW says ow. And remember, if you have, some of you are still getting confused on this letter, it looks a little bit like a different letter, doesn't it? So you have to figure it out all by yourself. So when you drive down the reading road, boop, what do you crash into? You crashed into the dinosaur tummy, didn't you? So if you crashed into the dinosaur tummy, this letter says duh, doesn't it? Duh, own. Duh, own. Say it fast. It says down, doesn't it? All right, tell me what you see inside this word. Are we doing good, cameraman? Awesome. All right, what do you see inside this word, boys and girls? You should see the Y at the end. And what do you know about Y at the end? It says E, doesn't it? And here's a vowel. A is one of the vowels, remember? A, E, I, O, and U. Remember those green letters above my head in our reading room at school? There's those vowels. And remember, every one of these vowels can make 2 sounds. They can make the long vowel sound and they can make the short vowel sound. So if we try the short vowel sound and we say ah, this word would say this. B-a-b, babby. Does that sound like a word, boys and girls? I don't think so. So if a doesn't work, then we should try the long vowel sound. And the long vowel sound is A. So let's sing it. B-a-b-e. Say it fast. What does it say? Baby. So we already talked about how there's a baby bear. Let me show you the word bear, boys and girls. It is kind of a tricky word because we can't sound it out and we can't find Legos inside. So just know that this word is the word bear. And you're going to see this word in the story a lot. So if you get stuck on this word, just remember it's in the title. So go back to the title of the story and find this word and you'll know it's baby bear. Now you might see it with a capital B Or you might see it with a lowercase b. It doesn't change the word, does it, boys and girls? They look different, but this is still a buh, and this is still a buh. This one says bear, and this one says bear. So we're gonna have some other words in our story where they change it to a capital letter, and sometimes that tricks first graders. So just remember, if it's a lowercase letter or a capital letter, it's still the same word, isn't it? All right, what do you see inside this word? You should see ER at the end. ER says Now all we have to do is drive our car. Remember, this is your car. You drive it down the reading road and you sing this word. Ready? This is where we start on the reading road. So here we go. Let's sing. River. I hope you're tickling your lip on the V sound. Here we go. River. Say it fast. I don't hear you. River. You love shouting at me at school, don't you? So I hope you're shouting at home too. You don't have your friends to compete with to say it first, but you can still shout it like you do at school. Here we go. River. Say it fast. River. Good. I spy ice, boys and girls. Good singing that word. Now, this word is a sight word that we need to practice inside this story, and I have some sight word cards that we're going to practice in just a minute. So you should know this sight word. This sight word is come, right? Well, in this word, they don't want to say come. They want to say come-ing. So we have to add the ing Lego to this word. So it would make sense to just add ing to the word, right? Then we have come, and then we have ing. But that's not how we spell it. So when you have come, let me get rid of the ing first, because that's not right. If you have the word come and you want to make it come-ing, first you have to take the magic E off the end, and then you add ing. So the word come looks a little bit different because it doesn't have the E in it anymore, but it still says come. So this part says come, and this part says ing, and if you snap it together, it says come-ing, right? All right, now tell me what you see inside this word. This could be a tricky word, but it's really easy if you find the Legos. So do you see anything that you know inside this word? I hoped you saw this. That's a sight word. That says to, doesn't it? All right, do you see anything else? You should see AY, and AY says A, doesn't it? And then if we added, which one is that, boys and girls? Let's drive down the reading road and see. So we're gonna drive down the reading road and crash. We crashed into the dinosaur's tummy. So this is a duh, isn't it? So we have a duh and we have a. So if we snap those two together, that part of the word, oh, here's the interruption. I thought I heard it coming. This part of the word says day, doesn't it? So first we have to, and then we have day. So today we got 2 interruptions. Sorry, boys and girls, I guess she needs to see what I'm doing and who I'm talking to. She would love to see you in real life, wouldn't she? All right, so to and day says today. All right. And then we have, do we hear a problem, cameraman? We might have a problem you may need to investigate. All right, so here's the hardest one in the story, boys and girls. Lots and lots of Legos. My cameraman's gonna sneak by real fast, okay? All right, so what Lego do you see first? You should see SH, and SH says shh. And then you should see OU, and OU says ow. Remember, it's just like OW. OW says ow, and OU says ow, right? So, and then if you look at the end, we have ED. Do you remember what ED can say? It can say 3 things depending on what it's snapped to. So ED can say duh, tuh, or ed, because we want to read the way we talk. So first we have to figure out what the ED is snapped to. So let's sing this part of the word. Ready? Shh, out, shh, out. So this part says shout. But if we did this yesterday or we did this last night, it already happened, didn't it? So we could say, let's pretend like my son came and scared me last night. So did I shout? But I already did it. So I shout what? Did I shout duh? Did I shout t? Or did I shout ed? So in this word, the ed is going to say ed, isn't it? So when my son scared me last night, what do you think I did? I shouted. Was everything okay, cameraman? All right. Okay, so I think we have finished all the words that we need to use our I Spy Eyes on. So when you're watching video 2, if you look at the words, cameraman, can you zoom for a second on the page with the words on it? When you're reading the page with the words on it, if you see a word that you don't know, then you might want to watch this video again. Because at the beginning of this, when we practice our I Spy Eye parts of this video, when I did my board, that's helping you figure out these words all by yourself. So if you get stuck, do not skip the word you don't know. That's not practicing being a good reader, and some of you like to do that sometimes. The reason we read this story is so that you can practice figuring out the words all by yourself. And if you work really, really hard on it, you will be so proud of yourself when you figure it out. So while you're reading, if you read a word that doesn't make sense, you should probably go back and read it again because the story should make sense. Or if you make up a different word that doesn't match the sounds in the word, then you're not using your I Spy Eyes. So make sure you use this time to touch the words with your finger and use your I Spy Eyes and practice using your toolbox all by yourself, because that's what's going to help you be a good reader, boys and girls. All right, so some of these words inside the story are I Spy Eye words that you have to figure out, right? But that could be tiring if we have to do that to every single word in the story, couldn't it? So that's why you have sight word lists that you have to memorize, because the sight words inside this book are your resting words. So you should be able to look at them and say them fast, and you don't have to make your brain tired over them. So we are going to practice the sight words that are inside the story, and I think I'm going to scramble this stack for you a couple of times. Cameraman, how are we doing on time? Are we doing pretty good on time? We're on 17 minutes? Okay, so we'll try to get this done really fast because I want to make your video as quickly as possible for you. So we're going to go through this a couple times, and that way you can practice looking at the word, saying it fast. Looking at the word, saying it fast. If you have to use your I Spy Eyes on these words, then you don't have your sight words memorized, and then your resting words aren't going to help you rest. So let's go through them quickly. I'm just going to show you the words first, and then we'll go through them again, and I'll tell you what they are. So ready? Get ready to shout them fast. Cameraman, can you see the cards good? Okay. Is it nice and big for them? Okay. Here we go. Ready? Okay, I hope you said them fast. Now I'm going to say them fast with you. Ready? My. Look. Look. Now, why in the world do you think I put 2 looks? Because if you look at the first letter, one's capital and one's not. But it doesn't change the word, does it, boys and girls? And don't forget what's in the middle of the word look. Oh, God bless you. Remember, anything can happen. If you look inside the word look, you see the eyeballs. So don't forget, that helps you remember what the word look is. All right, so here's the word look. Come, went, little, with, will. And if you look inside the word will, you should see the ill chunk. And we're gonna learn a little bit more about that in the next book that we do. Here's will. You, to, and this word is just like it sounds, just like these 3 words. So we have 2, 2, and 2. Remember, this is when we're going to the store. This is the number 2, and we're going to have this one in our next book too. And this is the one, remember my little critter books? And now that I'm at home, I might find one and show it to you. Remember the little brother always says, Me too, me too, me too. That means that he wants to do it also. So in this story, you have the word to, which means he wants to do it also. I'm going to have to look for that little critter book for you. Here's to, and then the sight word is goes. And you should see go inside the word. And if you know go, then you know goes. All right? All right, I'm going to give him a little scramble. And I'm going to let you do it one more time. And then that will be the end of our video number 1. So here we go. Ready, boys and girls? Okay, if you could not say those fast, then that means you need to watch this part of the video more than one time and keep practicing and keep practicing and keep practicing, because these words are not only in this story, they're going to be in lots of stories. So we want to get those good and stuck in our brain, so when we have them in the other stories, we can use all of our energy on our I Spy I words, and these are our resting words. We should be able to look at them and say them fast. Okay, boys and girls? Now, that's the end of video number 1, but don't forget, video number 2 is very important. Video number 1 is when I do all the talking. Video number 2 is when you get to do all the talking. So keep an eye out for video number 2. It should come right after this one is posted. And that is when you get to read the story. And remember, we don't get a new book every day in class at school. Sometimes we read it 2 times, sometimes we read it 3 times, sometimes we read it 4 times. So you can revisit video number 2 more than once and read them every day. It'll help you practice your I Spy Eyes and your good strategies, and it'll also help you practice your sight words, and it can also help you practice your retell too. All right, so I'll see you in the next video, and we'll be doing some reading together. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. See you soon.